The Miami Heat just became the sixth number 8 seed in NBA history to knock off a number 1 seed in the first round of the NBA playoffs. And man, Eric Spoelstra, Jimmy Butler, phenomenal during this series. They completely outcoached and outplayed the Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm here today to tell you how. Giannis, even though he was injured for some of the series, he did not have a very good series, at least when it came to clutch time. So we're going to talk all about that first round series. What happened to the Milwaukee Bucks? Make sure to the like button and leave me a comment down below as it really puts out in the YouTube algorithm. Now let's go ahead and get started. And yeah, the Heat basically shocked the world. I mean, this looked like a team that was dead in the water, and they come out and dominate the number 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. I mean, playoff Jimmy was in full effect. He's just insane. He completely, the switch gets flipped and he is unguardable. It's insane how good he is in the playoffs. In the regular season, we'll take a look at the difference of stats here. Regular season, he averaged 23 points, 6 rebounds, 5.3 assists per game. I mean, those are good numbers. Nothing crazy. Maybe get you into the All-Star game. Shot at 55% from the field, which is good. 35% from 3, not the greatest in the world. 34 minutes per game. But then, when playoff Jimmy gets activated, when he goes away from normal Jimmy, and he starts wanting to win that NBA championship, it's crazy the difference. So far in the playoffs, he's averaging 38 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. That is a 15-point-per-game difference. Now, I know he's probably playing a few more minutes. He's probably trying a little bit harder in the playoffs, but that is just insane. 60% from the field. He averaged 38 points a game on 60% shooting, 44% from 3. He played a lot of minutes, but man, he shot at 67%. When it comes to true shooting percentage, also averaged 2 steals per game. That's just insane. He's really turning into his dad, Michael Jordan. Now, the Heat as a whole had some hot shooting. All 5 of these guys shot at 43% from 3 on the series. Duncan Robinson shot 14 for 19 from 3 and averaged 10 points per game. That is crazy. If they're getting that kind of contributions, if the Heat as a whole, their shooting in the regular season was 35% from 3, in the playoffs, it is 45% from 3. So I don't know if the Bucks just ran into a buzzsaw or what the heck happened, how the Heat overnight became one of the best shooting teams in the NBA, but I'm shocked right now. And if you tell me that Kyle Lowry did not even have that big of an impact in the Heat win over the Bucks, I'd have thought you were crazy. Now, Bam Adebayo had some clamps, 17.4 points per game, 8.6 rebounds, 5 assists in this series, but he was huge on the defensive side of the ball, playing in the pick and roll, guarding Giannis in the clutch, even though the numbers don't exactly show it, and he only shot at 46% from the field. He was huge on defense. Giannis he's not good in the clutch. Great defense from Bam, but he can't hit free throws. He can't hit mid-range jump shots, and the Heat came all the way back. I think they got completely outcoached in this series. I feel like Eric Spoelstra and company completely torched the Bucks. I mean, this was a Heat team that was dead last in offensive efficiency, going up against a team that was top 5 in both for the majority of the season with Chris Middleton. And they got destroyed in the pick and roll. Brook Lopez, we'll talk about it later, was absolutely destroyed in drop coverage all series long. Jimmy Butler, whoever it was, coming off those screens, Kyle Lowry, did basically whatever they wanted. I mean, Gabe Vincent, he was in there at times too. They let the Heat shoot it 45% from 3, and they never once sent a double team to Jimmy Butler. I'm not sure why you would just sit there and take it. I mean, the guy was averaging 38 points per game on 60% shooting, which I know it's otherworldly numbers, but still, how are you just going to sit there and let that guy do the same thing to you over and over and over again? I mean, they didn't even have Tyler Hero, who's their second best creator. And we'll talk about the injuries right now, but Hero and Victor Oladipo, Hero didn't really play at all this series. Oladipo did not play much. I mean, he played a couple of games, but then he tore his patellar tendon, I believe, in Game 3 and was out for the series. I mean, without two rotation players, the Miami Heat, without one of their second leading scorer, their second best creator, they beat the Milwaukee Bucks. It's just hard to wrap your mind around this. I mean, what were the Bucks doing? I feel like at some point you could have at least tried to put Giannis on Jimmy Butler. Giannis himself said he wanted more opportunities. He still can't shoot free throws. I mean, he missed like 13 free throws in Game 5 or something insane like that. He just went straight to bully ball. He's not a closer. He can't hit a mid-range jump shot in the clutch. They needed Chris Middleton to be the closer, and he couldn't get it done. Brook Lopez, as great of a defender as he was all season long, was destroyed in the pick and roll. With the drop coverage, everybody knows they were going to run it, and the Heat abused it. So, shout out to Eric Spoelstra once again. I mean, phenomenal job done right there. But, I don't know. If I'm the Bucks, without the Heat having two rotation players, how do I let the number 6 seed beat me? And 3 of the 5 games were at my own. I mean, they were 2-1. The Heat were 2-1 in Milwaukee in this series. It's not like the Bucks were able to defend home court. I know Giannis was injured and everything, but Tyler Hero was injured too. I mean, for the Bucks, there really is no excuse for this. I mean, I know this Heat team kind of underperformed in the regular season, but still, no excuse for this whatsoever. Did not think that sitting there watching the Heat blow that lead against the Atlanta Hawks, that was the same team that would come out and beat the Milwaukee Bucks in round 1. Actually, it wasn't even the same team because they didn't even have Tyler Hero. Now, going forward for the Heat, they do have to play the New York Knicks, which, honestly, we got Heat-Knicks. I think the Heat can definitely win that series. It'll take another Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy performance, but I think they can win that series. I don't think the Knicks are serious title contenders. However, they might make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, in which case Madison Square Garden may burn to the ground. But Miami, you're looking at a legit chance to get back to the NBA, or not to the NBA Finals, but to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then maybe by that time, Tyler Hero is back after that broken finger. Maybe he can wrap it up. We'll see, but the longer you make it, the more of a chance you have of getting Hero back, which is huge. You're probably going to end up playing the Boston Celtics unless the Sixers come out of the bottom part of the bracket, which, I mean, Bam is probably the best option left in the eastern part of the bracket to defeat Joel Embiid, to guard Joel Embiid. But still, that's going to be a tough assignment, especially with a pretty much fully healthy 76ers squad. Jimmy Butler is going to have to activate playoff Jimmy for the rest of the playoffs in order for them to continue to win. But I think he can do it. I mean, 38 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 67% true shooting. Those numbers are almost unsustainable, but we have seen what Jimmy Butler can do in the playoffs before, and he continues to do the same thing over and over and over again, which is the crazy part. But yeah, with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on this series. But yeah, with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video. Hit the like button, leave me a comment, and yeah, make sure to come back later for more NBA content.